Wait, so I'm gonna keep following her. I'm gonna keep following her.
God, another one! I know!
Oh, we can't because we have a.
We're on a time.
Yeah, we're on a time limit, so.
There's no time frame.
A popular streamer named Valkyrae hosted a 7-day streaming marathon called Sissathon with another streamer named Cinnabrit or Cinna, and on March 2nd, 2025, day 6 out of 7 of their streaming marathon, they decided to take the stream outdoors in public. Valkyrae, Cinna, and another streamer named Emiru, and 2 others, Rosie and Emily, went out to this pier in Santa Monica, California, which is also well known for being in a game called Grand Theft Auto. Normally, whenever I discuss IRL streamers or streaming in public, there's a scandal involving the streamer's behavior, such as Jack Doherty or Natalie Reynolds, as those types of streamers harass people for content and make jokes out of it. But in this case, it was the exact opposite. In fact, I went in and watched about an hour of this stream to find that prior to the incident that had taken place, this stream seemed pleasant and wholesome. It just seemed like a few friends genuinely enjoying their time. They weren't bothering anybody, they weren't being loud, they were just walking calmly on the boardwalk, talking about random things until a man pops up and asks to take a selfie with them. Initially, this encounter wasn't anything out of the usual. They gladly took a selfie with him, were very polite, and after taking the picture, they continued on their way towards the pier. About a half hour later, the streaming group was getting off of a Ferris wheel and stumbled upon a man sitting on the ground by the ride, and he was saying some strange things. He requested Emiru's number and upon rejection, declared that he was going to continue to follow them, and this led to an altercation that left the girls fearing for their lives. It wasn't until later that many made the connection that this was the same man asking for a selfie from before. During all of this chaos, a bunch of small details were left out when sharing viral clips on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it, and these small details not only add additional context for those who haven't seen it, but they showcase how the situation is so much more terrifying than it already seemed. On top of that, while most have offered well wishes and support to Valkyrae, Cinna, and Emi, the streamers were met with vitriol from some, who not only said hurtful things towards them, but made the entire situation that much more stigmatized and harmful towards anybody who has ever experienced a similar encounter. I'm going to try really hard to not crash out in this video because I am very, very bothered by this situation. This is not a video I was planning on making. I had a scheduled video planned, but I really wanted to sit down and talk about this because it is something that absolutely disgusts me. It's bad enough that people have to deal with this type of encounter when just being in public, but there are so many nasty things that have been said online about Valkyrae, about Cinna, and about Emi, and everybody involved in this situation. It is so unnecessary and so cruel. In this video, I want to go over exactly what happened. I want to point out some things that I've noticed that I haven't seen anybody bring up. It's something that deeply disturbs me, but also it's something that I think is just good information to know. Unfortunately, I find that in today's day and age, it's critical to be hyper aware of your surroundings. So I went back to the actual VOD. When you stream on Twitch, it stays up for a certain amount of time. I only went back about an hour or so from when the stream ended. The first thing that I saw were the girls walking down this boardwalk of Santa Monica Pier. It's a very popular pier. People compare it to Grand Theft Auto because it was featured in that game. What freaks me out is if you go back to the VOD, not only do you see the clip of this guy asking for a selfie, you can see him coming up. Obviously, that's not that big of a deal, right? You see him in the distance before he approaches, right?
Honestly, this is a really nice time with not that many people. Like, it's actually not that bad. So cool.
They were going this way. He was going this way. So their paths were crossing. For any other situation, would go like this, okay? Because he's coming this way. Oh my God, hi. I totally didn't know that I was going to be running into my favorite streamer. Let me take a selfie.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
Is that Emily? Is that? No way. Yo, can I get a picture with you?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Let's get a picture. Wait, but can I rap to you real quick?
This is Cinna.
Hello.
I was waiting for it.
Nice to meet you.
Hi.
My name's Russell.
Hi, nice to
Ray.
meet
Nice to
you.
meet you.
I'm like, could you take
Rosie.
a photo?
Rosie, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
My name's Russell.
Russell.
He was saying, can we hang out? They said, no, we can't, sorry. You know, we're on a time limit, we're doing the stream. And he said something along the lines of, oh, time isn't a factor for me. Like, just really creepy stuff.
Oh, we can't because we have a.
We actually, we're on a time
What's
limit.
up?
Yeah,
you
we're
gotta
on a time limit,
There's no
so.
time frame.
Did you want to pick?
Oh, sorry, excuse us.
Sorry.
Okay, so.
Do we get a photo?
Oh yeah.
I also want to add in, I hate this part of the video so much. This man comes up asking for a selfie and then sits in a very uncomfortable silence for what feels like way too long. The interaction was very uncomfortable.
Why do they say rhyme?
Because his name's Russell.
Did you call me Russell?
No, his name is Russell.
Oh!
She's had a long week.
I am running on like 3 hours of sleep. Please forgive me. My brain is actually like lagged.
Alright, let's take a picture. Let's get one, Rosie. Come on.
Cute! Rosie too!
Nice to meet you.
Thanks, Russell.
Nice to meet you.
Have a good one.
Good night.
Okay, I'm gonna go continue my merry way, the way that I was going, because that's what a normal person would do. And that's what Valkyrae and the group proceeded to do. After they had taken their selfie, they continued on towards the pier, towards this Ferris wheel, towards these really pretty lights and rides and stuff. I feel really bad for the person recording this saying, oh, I finally met a good Russell, because later on we see that if this is really his name, it doesn't seem like he's that great of a Russell.
Oh, he's so sweet.
Russell's a nice guy.
Oh, that's why they're saying rhyme.
That's the best Russell I've met.
Aw.
Just a few minutes later, they run into another fan of theirs and they take a picture and the same thing happened. They went their separate ways and it was completely normal. And there's a clip though, because this is being streamed, part of this stream where Valkyrae, Cinna, and Emi are facing the camera and you could see behind them. You could see what's behind them.
Like, you and Tina both have like the most beautiful natural hair.
Did you cut your hair because it was annoying?
No, it's because I bleach it a lot and it dies, and so I have to keep cutting it. I want my hair longer, but
I just got tired of holding it when I used the toilet. And like, did you ever like you lay on the ground and then you get up and like you step on it?
It's hard to tell for certain. I cannot be 1000% sure, but I swear I see this man in the background going in the same direction that they're going. Which, I mean, obviously he would have had to do that anyway to follow them to get to the Ferris wheel, but it's creepy to see it on stream. It's something that made my stomach drop when I saw it, and I really wanted to bring it up. It bothers me, and I needed to point it out. And listen, a lot of people in the background of this stream were wearing very similar things. There were a lot of people wearing white hoodies and gray hoodies, cream-colored hoodies. It looked like it was a somewhat chilly night in California. I matched it up from the previous clip. This guy is wearing a white hoodie, black pants, can't really see his shoes. I'm fairly confident that's him. He turned around and began following them. There was one point where it looked like there was somebody in a white hoodie near the Ferris wheel when they were getting on, but that person was wearing a hat. He didn't have a hat in any clips of the video, so I don't think that was him. Again, there were other people wearing similar clothing, but this was just really creepy. I hate that. So then they get on the Ferris wheel. They're having a great time. It was very wholesome. It looked very sweet. Just a bunch of friends having a really good time. For one of them, it was their first time going on a Ferris wheel. They're looking over the Santa Monica Pier. The camera pans over, looks at all the lights and how pretty it is. That looked like a wholesome moment that should have been able to be cherished as a wonderful memory, all to be ruined as soon as they get off of that Ferris wheel, because then they encounter Russell, or so the guy calls himself. He then is sitting on the ground without his hoodie. People say he changed his clothes. I think he just took the hoodie off. He's wearing the same pants. And he just starts saying some creepy stuff. It just sounds like nonsense. Talking about, can I sing for change?
Oh God, yes, that is. Can I sing for a change? A change for the better, as you would say?
And then he asks if he can get Emi's number. He wants to try and connect with her, I guess, is a way to put it.
And the change would be for her number.
Oh!
Obviously, this is met with rejection.
If you like it, can I get your number?
I don't have a phone.
Wait, put your number in mine.
I don't know how to use a phone. I'm
sorry.
To me, it seems like she's trying to handle this with a little bit of humor. This is awkward. I'm uncomfortable, so this is how I'm gonna react. This is pretty normal when you're in an uncomfortable situation. At least, I don't know, from a girl's perspective, I could totally understand this. You're put on the spot. You're in a situation where a lot of times when you feel like you're about to reject somebody, there is fear because you don't know how that person's going to respond, and obviously, as we're going to get into here, the response wasn't great. This didn't go over well with Russell. He decided to say, oh, well, I'm gonna keep following you anyway.
Wait, so I'm gonna keep following her. I'm gonna keep following her.
God, another one! I know! You're gonna have to get in line, there's too many stalkers!
That's the head. Bro, what the fuck? That's not the risk.
Get behind me! Okay. Oh my god.
Kendrick,
Wait, are we getting churros?
Kendrick, add it into the list.
Thanks for coming in, lady.
Thank you so much.
See you tomorrow, and take care.
And as they took off and start walking away, he gets up and starts following them.
Can we get churros or no?
Yes, right here.
Oh.
You can also get them from the vendors. Ooh, it might be better for with the vendors. I didn't see any churro vendors though. Did you? There is one. You need, yeah. Do you want some sunglasses? You like these? Incognito time. Stand behind me. I don't like. I'm gonna keep following her.
And they're in line for churros. Valkyrae takes a pair of sunglasses and gives them to Emi. She puts them on, puts her hood up. I totally get the idea, but at that point, it didn't help much. He was right on their tail and waiting for them to finish getting out of line. And that's when everything broke into chaos. Emily, not Emi, Emily is another person in this group who says, can I be mean to him? And Valkyrae says yes.
Can I be mean to him? Yeah, you can. You have permission.
Yeah.
There's a moment when Valkyrae says he's getting closer.
Maybe we should just go.
Oh.
Yeah, maybe we should. Yeah. He's getting a little closer.
And then at one point, it seems like Emily gets out of line and there's an altercation that happens off camera.
I think we're just gonna go.
Let's go. Oh, no, we're not. Hey, excuse me?
No!
Security?
Emily, no!
Hey,
Stop!
no.
The next thing we see is the camera pans over, and for a second you see the guy's face, and he says, I will kill you, basically threatening their lives.
Whoa.
Right now.
What?
Get away from me.
Security!
He's harassing us.
What's going on? What's going on?
Right now.
Ah!
Right now. Fuck off. Right now.
Security, please.
Security!
They start running, heading out from the pier. They were already planning on leaving the churro spot anyway because this was getting a little too intense. And then the camera cuts off. You can hear a little bit more audio. And from that point on, it's just silence for I think like another 15 or 20 minutes or so. People that were watching this stream live were terrified. They were flooding with comments, asking if they were okay. After a little bit of time, each individual person involved in this, other than Russell, obviously we're not including him, Valkyrae, Emi, Cinna, Rosie, and Emily, all of them made their own tweets talking about how they're okay and the situation is getting handled. We are all okay and have been with police. We decided that we are done with the marathon and need time to process. Thank you for all the love and support this past week. We had so much fun and hope you all enjoyed. That end of marathon brunch stream we had planned tomorrow with friends will be rescheduled for sometime in the far future. Please send love to Emiru, Cinna, Rosie, and Emily. Everybody is in shock, but I'm glad we're together. Cinna then posted, hey everyone, we are safe. Unfortunately, we have to end the marathon and need time to process what happened as we are in shock at the moment. Thank you all for the love and support on the marathon. We love you all. She followed followed up with, to add, Rosie and Emily did everything they could to separate us, especially after the clip. Please send them love and thank you for all they did. They are amazing. She posted the same thing on Instagram stories with a little bit more to follow up. To add, Rosie also pushed him back and helped us get away and was amazing. Emily also helped keep him distant while we ran for help. I am very thankful to those two for what they did tonight to help us. Two amazing humans who are not security but stood up like it to protect us. I am so thankful. Emi then made a post stating, I'm sorry for not saying anything sooner. I've just been in shock. Girl, you do not owe anybody an apology. Nobody in this situation other than the stalker owes anybody an apology. Some of the response to this has been ridiculous, and to make them feel like they need to apologize is insane to me. For those who don't know, I was streaming with Ray and Cinna last night, and a man asked for my phone number. I turned him down, and he started following our group, threatening to take our lives. I wish I could say that this was some kind of 1 in a million incident, but the truth is, it's not. This is what life is like for girls. I hope, if anything, people see what happened and realize how much of a reality it is for women and content creators as a whole. I will forever be thankful for Cinna, Ray, Emily, and Rosie for how they handled the situation and speaking out about what we've dealt with. They deserve so much love and support. I find Emi's response to be particularly sad because it feels like there's so much pressure on not just all of them, but especially her, because she was the one that he originally targeted. Not only was she going through the trauma of all of this, but people were leaving really nasty comments on Twitter, and she felt the need to apologize. You have nothing to apologize for. This situation that happened was not your fault. You don't owe anybody anything. None of them do. When she made this post, there were still some leaving really nasty replies. What a response. What do you mean, what a response? She didn't even have to give one, to be completely honest. It's not like she's making a public YouTube apology over something and you're sitting in your seat trying to rate whether or not it was a good apology or not. She's literally trying to handle and deal with a traumatic situation that happened less than 24 hours prior. Not gonna lie, Emi could have handled the phone number part better. That was a really crappy way to reject someone. Just say she wasn't interested in anything and walk away. Yeah, I'm sure that would change the situation. That entire interaction was strange. Maybe this could have been avoided. To be clear, the dude was out of line with what he did afterward and should be jailed for threatening someone's life. The second part of this just contradicts the entire thing. The person in this video was clearly unhinged, and I don't think it would matter if she said F you to his face, if she said just no and walked away, or if she said what she did. I think the way she handled it was fine, because again, people like this do not care. They are going to still harass and stalk people. Reasonable crash out. Emiru is fine AF. It got to a point where Valkyrae made another post on Twitter. Honestly, F all of you for blaming our employees for quote-unquote not doing enough. Our team worked so hard to help us with this marathon and did their best for being put on the spot. No means no. You're not entitled to anybody. The fact that this man threatened our lives after being rejected while we were in a group, in public, and live on stream just shows the harsh reality women live in. This happens off camera to women all the time. Seeing accounts that have harassed us for a 10-second clip of downtime during a 24/7 marathon accusing us of just begging for subs, women do nothing, to then farming engagement from this stalker situation while we IRL stream has been so sad to see. Seeing accounts accusing my friends and I for faking this and blaming us instead of questioning the man's behavior has been embarrassing to see. I've learned it doesn't matter how much I accomplish in this industry or how much I try to gain respect. Some men will hate women and blame women no matter the situation. While it may be discouraging, I hope anybody reading this does not quit doing what makes them happy because of misinformation and hate. As you can see, some hate is inevitable. This clip doesn't show the rest of what happened after we cut the camera, but I feel what was shown was important to witness. I'm so relieved we are alive and will be more cautious and safe in the future. I hope other women and streamers learn from seeing this interaction and also be aware that this can happen to anybody, anywhere. Stay safe. A really good point made by this account states, people blame victims because it gives them a false sense of control and they want to believe that if they just do everything right, bad things won't happen to them, but that's not reality. The only person responsible for what happened is the stalker. You shouldn't have to alter your life just to avoid someone else's harmful actions. You guys did everything you could in a terrifying situation. Anyone who shifts blame onto you guys is ignoring the real problem and making the world less safe for others. Really quick before we continue, the National Safety Council reported that in the year of 2021, over 36,000 car accidents would happen in the United States every single day. And in many cases, people who have gotten in accidents had to deal with the headache of trying to navigate the cost of their injuries. Things could be much more simple though by becoming a client of Morgan & Morgan. If you've ever gotten into an accident, your injury could potentially be worth millions. When dealing with cases, Morgan & Morgan doesn't just settle for lowball offers. Morgan & Morgan has achieved significant verdicts for victims with life-altering injuries. This includes over $12 million in Florida being 34 times the highest insurance offer, and $26 million in Philly, which is 40 times the highest insurance offer. Being America's largest injury law firm, Morgan & Morgan has over 1,000 lawyers working across all 50 states. And the best part is, you don't have to pay any fees unless you win your case. That's right, that means no expensive upfront charges coming out of your pocket. Like I've said, if you've ever gotten seriously hurt, your injury could be worth millions, and you're just a few clicks away from potentially changing your life. You could start your claim now with Morgan & Morgan at forthepeople.com/Mimi, and you can also find my link in the description below. Thank you so much to Morgan & Morgan for sponsoring another video on my channel, and with that being said, let's get back into today's topic. Valkyrae and Cinna went on stream and addressed things live, and even that is extremely sad to watch. They start out with, "We feel like we're in trouble when we know we're not."
I was just telling her, I was like, why does it feel like we did something wrong?
Yeah, it feels like we're in trouble.
It feels like, which is just not the case. Like, this is crazy. It's so crazy.
And it's because there's been a lot of hate comments that have been sent towards them.
We do kind of need to like say what happened, because I think a lot of women, a lot of times in this industry, cannot talk about the stalkers they have because it will only make them worse. And unfortunately, this one was very, very public.
Yes.
And I feel like none of us can really move on.
Cinna makes a really good point talking about how you don't know what you're going to do until it happens, basically.
Like, you didn't show everything that happened.
And we just want to use it as like a learning situation, because we see a lot of people saying like, oh, I would have done this if I was there, but you have no idea how fast it really happened. We did not know that it was even the same guy up until he made the original thread about following us. We didn't click it.
He changed clothes.
That is true. And so first of all, you genuinely have no idea what you are going to do, how you're going to handle a fight or flight situation until you are put into it. It's the way the human mind works. Your reaction to things can change. Your reaction to things could be completely different than you expect because you have no idea what's going to happen or how you're going to react until you are put in that situation. There was a video I watched. If I can find it, I will link it in the description below. I may have to censor myself here because of the topic it involved, but there was a guy and his wife, I believe. They went on a trip, and when they were in the sky, their method of transportation no longer worked and was going to eventually crash onto the ground. They survived the crashing part. Everything caught on fire after they hit the ground, and the video I was watching was talking about how in this situation, what saved their lives was the fact that this guy knew how to get out of the situation because he had navigated a fire before. He lived through it, so he was able to navigate out of it with his wife. They got out and they were safe, while others did not have the same luck. I bring that story up in a very vague way, unfortunately. I apologize for that, but I bring it up because I think it can provide a good example that everyone can kind of understand as to you don't know what you're going to do until you're put in a situation, and the only thing that can prepare you for a situation like that is going through it.
I'm not joking when I say like it
was so
escalated
fast.
so quickly. There is nothing that anybody could have done. It happened so fast, and like you guys did not see all of it. It is like, I am in hindsight very thankful that we were in the area that we were and that we were able to go into the store, because I think if we had been anywhere else on the pier, it would have been a very different situation. I knew it could happen. But you always think that you know what you'll do in that situation. And when you're in it, it is very different. It's easy to say what you would have done in the situation. But when you were having your life threatened and you were in fight or flight, we are not gonna wait around to see what he had in his pocket. You're just gonna run because there's a guy saying he's gonna kill you and reaching for your pocket. Like, that's not an unreasonable thing to think. And like Rosie, Emily, me, Emi, and Ray did the best that we could for the situation that we were in.
If somebody says they're going to take your life and they are reaching in their pockets, absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's a fight or flight. You make a split-second decision. We currently are living in a society that if somebody says that they are going to you take that seriously. There are things on the news every single day that include people losing their lives. We do not live in a very safe environment, especially very populated areas. I've never been to California in my life, but I would like to imagine that if you are visiting a very populated beach, a tourist attraction, or somewhere that is extremely well known and is very populated, there might be a lot of people there, and some people might not be the safest to be around. You never know who you're going to encounter, unfortunately. I don't see how this is something that is completely unbelievable at all. This is something that happens to people every single day. It just so happened to happen to them while they were streaming. As Valkyrae and Cinna explained, one moment this guy was like really, really manic, they said, and then another moment his personality would flip.
It wasn't shown, but he like banged on this trash can in front of the security guard. Like, I don't know if you could hear it.
The way that we knew he was manic was he kept changing like personality. Like he would get really happy and be really nice, and then feel threatened and get really aggressive very quickly, and was punching stuff behind us. And when he charged at Emily and stuff like that, and he charged at Emi, we just went into fight or flight.
I genuinely hope that they do find this guy. Clearly there's something not right going on, but that is absolutely no excuse. And this person makes me absolutely furious. Why would you do something like this? Why would you go and just harass people like this and traumatize them? Honestly, this is disgusting. And obviously this is not how you handle somebody rejecting somebody. The biggest issue here is that people need to learn that this is not how you respond to rejection. This is not how you treat others.
Like I said, like you guys, when that clip cuts off, like we had to run into a store screaming that somebody was going to kill us so that somebody would step in and let us in the back. And we were lucky that one of the workers, who was not like questioning us, actually like believed us, and he put us all in the back.
And after they shut the camera off, they went into a store. Someone believed them when they were saying, hey, there's somebody threatening our lives. They let them hang out in the store for a few minutes, and when they said we don't see the guy out there anymore, they were really afraid. Then they went and hid in a shed for 15 minutes waiting for the police to show up. I don't wish that upon anybody. I genuinely feel terrible for everybody involved in this situation, and I hope that this person does get caught, because he could be doing this to other people right now. I fear for anybody else that could potentially be victimized by this same person.
He's still out there, but I am investing as much as I can to find this guy. If you have any information on this man, I would like it. We're going to find him, and I'm going to do everything I can to get this guy. So
yeah, we are trying to do everything so we can get him. We have evidence that he knew who we were. We have everything. We just need to find him. So if any of you have any information and you've seen him before or anything, if you can please tell us, so we will know, because it's hard sometimes, like when the cops have to go off stuff like that. And I know that it's a lot, but it would help us a lot if anybody has anything.
I do want to throw in here, it is very important to mention, they are looking for anybody who might have any sort of knowledge about this person or might know who he is, but please do not take that as an opportunity to go and harass anybody who you think it might be. If you think that the person in this video is somebody that you might have seen or somebody that you might know, inform them directly. You don't want to make a public spectacle out of somebody who you think it might be, just in case it isn't the right person. If you think that it might be that person, do as they request and let them know. What frightens me is that there are a lot of people nowadays that lack genuine empathy for others. It just seems really, really nasty anymore. There's a whole other portion of this entire situation that I haven't gotten into yet, which is the backlash that all of them had gotten after this incident occurred on their live stream. One big thing was people claiming that this was staged. There was one tweet that Drama Alert made stating, Ice Poseidon's friend SJC claims Valkyrae, Emiru and Cinna scripted the stream sniper threatening their life. And this was a response to another post that Drama Alert made, which was re-uploading a clip from the stream showcasing the incident that had taken place. There was a lot of backlash for this tweet, but I didn't see as much of the backlash directly engaging with this tweet. I would see it being referenced by others on other posts. So the engagement that I see directly involved with this tweet are people supporting the idea that this was fake. There was a lot of backlash towards Valkyrae, Emi, and Cinna in the comments of this, which I think is horrible. But also what I believe the intent was of this tweet to point out was that there were people prior to making this tweet claiming that what had taken place in the stream was staged. I don't believe that. I think that that is horse shit. But apparently a lot of people do, and a lot of people were talking about how they thought that this was staged. So I want to go over some posts now that are the reason why I decided to make this video. Some are comments underneath Drama Alert's post, but many are just comments made throughout the entire website. Some are in reply to Valkyrae, Emi, and Cinna. Some are in reply to other posts made about the incident reported by other outlets. If you just type in any keywords regarding this situation onto Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it, you will find a plethora of comments just like the ones I'm about to read. There are so many supportive comments. There are so many people that are absolutely disgusted that this had happened and are giving their best wishes to everybody involved. But I find it concerning that there are a growing number of people that are willing to say things like I'm about to get into. Woman flaunts looks for views. Bad things happen. Holy crap, that was unpredictable. Someone wrote, who cares? People need to toughen up. These bimbos have nothing of value to add, just their drama. 100% scripted. They're deceiving 304s. 304 means hoe. Like I said, dumb right off the bat. So many whiny simps. Only simps and actual are on the girl's side. They were using him for content and threatened him off camera when it didn't work out exactly how they wanted. What? They should stay inside their homes from now on. What do you mean they threatened him off camera? Was this person there to see that? Was this person the dude? Because if they weren't there to see it in person, how the hell would they know something like that? I don't actually think this person is the dude, by the way. I think they're just delusional, but okay, we're going to move on. Boo-hoo, stop crying for views and clips. No one got hurt or wasn't that big of a deal, just a weirdo. Move on, Jesus Christ. These women use him for content, refuse to set boundaries, saying, no, I don't want to give you my phone number and leaving. And instead, Emiru insults him by saying she doesn't have a phone. Like I mentioned earlier, it's very clear that Emi was using humor as like a coping mechanism to deal with the uncomfortable situation she was kind of put on the spot in. If you don't want to interact with annoying people, don't look for attention in public. Not gonna lie, it's y'all own fault. But let me be quiet, most of the kids in here wouldn't understand it either way. Shawty crying like her life was gonna end. Yeah, they thought their life was going to end. The guy said he was going to end their lives. That genuinely would generate a reaction of, I'm in danger. Such an overreaction. Could have been prevented if you didn't laugh in his face and humiliate him. I really can't stand people that are claiming that this is an overreaction. What do you want people to do? Someone is saying that they're going to them and their instinct is to run, and when they reflect on it, they're traumatized because some stranger came up to them and threatened them. How is that an overreaction? Still overreacting to a troll. Grow a thicker skin, ladies. I don't think this guy was a troll. This guy got aggressive. He was following them. I think a lot of people only saw the clip at the pier and didn't see the first one first. He was following them. He was stalking and harassing them. He was stream sniping or whatever you want to call it. This was something that should have never happened. It is not their fault. And they are allowed to respond in any way that they feel necessary if it makes them feel better. And honestly, I feel like they didn't have to respond at all, but they probably felt like they did because there were so many people asking them questions and they just wanted to address it. But people are treating this like it's some sort of controversy, like they're being canceled over this or something. They started out, like I mentioned earlier, saying, we feel like we're in trouble. So this is a comment that somebody else pointed out. Good. Hoes need to be humbled. If this were true, then women would be extinct. The more accurate description is engagement farming chicks on the internet get upset when their engagement yields results. You asked for attention, you got attention. I see stuff like this and then read how Amaranth actually got a and robbed. Show you who the real losers streaming are. Thoughts and prayers to Amaranth for a speedy recovery. There is an entire different story regarding Amaranth that is developing where she had gotten robbed and it was a very severe altercation, and I believe she also was hospitalized for it, and that is something that is also horrible and happened the same night, I believe. That incident and this incident are terrible, and neither should have happened. From what I know, it seems that Amaranth will be okay, and I am very glad to hear that. I'm also very glad to hear that everybody involved in the situation we're discussing today is okay right now. Both of these are extremely traumatic situations. Neither of them should be compared to one another, saying who handled it better, and to call somebody weak or make fun of somebody for being upset about a traumatic situation that happened to them, comparing it to somebody who handled it in a different way, is absolutely disgusting and honestly extremely unintelligent. From everything we've seen online, there is no indication that this was staged or faked. There were some people claiming that it was. There's no evidence to indicate that it was, though. I do not believe that it was. If it ever turns out that I am wrong, fair enough. But from what I see, I genuinely believe that this was a real situation that has happened. Situations like this do happen quite often. It is terrifying. It's terrifying. And listen, like I said earlier, there were tons and tons and tons of comments that were supportive, that were giving them well wishes, that were telling them that they were worried and concerned and that they were glad that they are okay. I'm not trying to say that this was 100% hatred. It wasn't. Nobody involved in this situation owes anybody any type of response. This isn't like a YouTuber apology situation. This is something traumatic that happened. This seemed like a person who was genuinely unwell and could potentially be dangerous. We do not live in a safe time to be taking threats like that lightly, and having somebody say those things to you and act the way that they did, that is a very justified reason to feel afraid. I was just getting ready to end this video, but then there is another unfortunate update. As of right now, we still don't know the whereabouts of this guy, but somebody else decided to just be awful. So somebody replied to this Dexerto post. The Dexerto post in question, I believe, is this one, which is, he's still out there, but I'm investigating as much as I can to find this guy, which is a quote from Valkyrae. The post continues to say, Valkyrae vowed to catch the man who attacked her, Cinna and Emiru, on stream. And this is all good. This is great. Actually, I'm glad that she is working hard to try and find the guy that did this, because like I said, who knows if he could be out there doing this to somebody else. Shortly after, though, I saw Valkyrae reply to a tweet, and at the time of that tweet, it was deleted, but I saw constant screenshots and reposts of what this tweet potentially said, and this is what I found. The reason why I'm not sure if this is the exact Dexerto post is because the Dexerto post was made at 11 a.m. and the screenshot from this says 10:38 a.m. However, the person who did screenshot this, maybe they were in a different time zone and maybe that's why, but it says, replying to Dexerto, Valkyrae, I like you as an influencer, but keep the same energy when I catch you in real life. When I swing at you with a bat, don't be yelling to the police to help your other than that, you're a on this site. I'm not scared to say it to you in person, 100. This tweet was very quickly deleted, and Valkyrae made a response stating, all because we want as much information as possible on the Stalker for the police report. I've always wondered what I would do if I were attacked, and I always overconfidently imagined I would be able to defend myself and others. The Stalker reached into his pockets multiple times, which instinctively made me run. I'll never be out without a or pepper ever again. I'll never joke about being strong enough to handle being attacked again, and I'll always take threats like this seriously. I'm assuming that this is the one that she was replying to. Despite that post being deleted, people were just roasting this guy. Honestly, in my opinion, rightfully so, because this is disgusting. I have no idea what is wrong with people and why people are being so awful lately. I don't know if it's just the site is not doing as good of a job at filtering out nasty things. I mean, it was already bad before, but it seems like it's so much worse. Someone else says, report the guy, he's threatening to hurt you, and she said, yeah, I've screenshotted everything he's tweeted. So hopefully this guy gets reported to. This is disgusting. People are being so nasty to her and everybody else in this situation for something that was completely out of their control, and I don't want to repeat myself. It just makes me so flabbergasted that we're even having this conversation. Obviously, there has been a minority of people who have had this mindset of victim blaming and whatnot, but it seems so much louder now. I don't know if it's a new generation of people. Like I said earlier, I don't know if it's just that Twitter just doesn't do a good job at getting rid of these hateful posts anymore. I genuinely hope that things get better. I hope that they are able to catch the guy that originally harassed them. And you know what? If she decides to make a report on this person, that's well deserved too, I think, because you have to be a certain type of stupid to type something like that out and send it to them and think that you're not going to have any type of consequences. That's a very low IQ move, my guy. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. I'm glad everybody is okay physically. I hope everybody is okay and heals mentally. And I hope that the person apparently named Russell does get found by authorities and is dealt with appropriately, because it is horrifying to know that that person could still be roaming around doing this to other people. I feel the worst for Emiru or Emi. I apologize, by the way, if I've mispronounced anybody's names in this. I do feel the worst for Emi because people have just been really nasty to her when she just made a statement saying, I'm sorry, I just needed time to collect myself. Take this as a reminder to be very aware of your surrounding, to be very aware of your safety. I'm not trying to fearmonger anybody or anything like that, but stuff like this does happen quite often. I do apologize for rambling on and ranting at portions of this video. I wasn't expecting to even be talking about this. This was a spur of the moment thing. I have another video scheduled that I'm still working on. With that being said, thank you so much to everybody supporting me over on Patreon and through YouTube memberships, and I will see you in the next video that is most likely, hopefully, going to be out soon and is going to be a very, very lengthy one. I've been working on it for a while, so see you later.